So living cell was discovered by Antonio van Leeuwenhoek. AntoniE. Antonio van Leeuwenhoek. Leuwenhoek. Leeuwenhoek. So this was discovered by living cell was discovered by Antonio van Leeuwenhoek. He discovered by using a chick cell. Chick cell means, in your mouth there are some white substances in your tongue, right? Or maybe in a teeth. He has taken out that using a bird. Like what is a bird, right? We used to clean our ear. So by using that bird, he has taken out some chick cell and then he has observed in the microscope. Okay, so that was discovered by Antonio van Leeuwenhoek, and dead cell was discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665. Now let's move to our chapter. You have already learned that things around us are living or non-living. So as already we know that many things in our surrounding are living as well as non-living. We know that the properties, that means characteristic of a living and non-living cell. You know everyone, right? The characteristic of a living and non-living things. Living things grow. Non-living thing do not grow. Living thing respire. That means सांस लेना. Non-living thing do not respire. Okay? Living thing reproduce. Non-living thing do not reproduce. Reproduce means बच्चा पैदा करना. Living thing we produce babies, right? But non-living thing they don't produce. Like suppose we are having bed. Okay? Bed. So next day there will be one small bed or what? No. They don't reproduce. Okay? Then living thing can move from one place to another. Non-living thing do not move. Okay? Generally living thing they move from one place to another. Like tree is also living but they don't move. Okay? Living thing eat. Living thing they eat food. Non-living thing they don't eat. Living thing responds to stimuli. Response to stimuli, that means there will be a reaction. Like suppose someone is sitting and suddenly someone come from backside. Response to stimuli, that means we react. Like suppose I am sitting here, if somebody from backside, if someone come and they will try to afraid me, that means they will come. I am sitting so seriously, I am concentrating in something. Someone from backside, if they will say, "Wow, I'll be getting, oh my God." So that is response to stimuli. But if you are in front of a non-living thing, if you bark or if you say something, they will never respond. Like someone is sitting, if I'll try to sleep like this, another one will be moving like this. That means they are responding. So that is called respond to stimuli. Is it clear? Like you have seen touch me not plant. One plant is there, if you will touch its leaf, it will close. So that is response to stimuli. Is it clear? But non-living thing, they will not respond to stimuli. Is it clear? There are many more things. Further, you may recall that all living organisms carry out certain basic function. Can you list this function? So certain function we do. Yes, we know. What we do? We ingest our food. Okay? We eat food. We digest our food. We absorb nutrients. We distribute nutrients in our body. And then we excrete. That means waste product is been removed from our body in the form of, in simple term we can say potty, or in English if you'll say, we can say stool, or we can say feces, or we can say excreta. All are same thing. Fine? Or you can say dung, anything, your choice. But non-living thing, they don't do this. They will never excrete. Have you ever seen your bed has excrete? Next morning when you'll see something is lying under the bed? No. Non-living thing, they don't do that. Fine? Different sets of organ perform the various function you have listed. So we are having organ. Our body is made up of organ. Generally there are some organisms which are made up of single cell. They are known as unicellular organism. That we have studied in chapter 2 also, microorganism, friend and foe. We have studied, right? unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular means those organisms which are made up of single cell, and multicellular means those organisms which are made up of more than one cell. Like we are made up of more than one cell. Okay? Same way other animals also, they are multicellular. But unicellular organisms are made up of single cell, and we have given example also before, that is amoeba, paramecium, euglena, there are many more. Okay, they are made up of single cell. So different sets of organ perform the various function you have listed. Like in our body also, different organ perform different function. Remember that from cell you will be getting tissue. So many cells combine together to form tissue. So many tissue will combine together to form organ. So many organ will form together, that means combine together to form organ system. And so many organ system will combine together to form organism. Is it clear? Cell से टिश्यू बनता है, टिश्यू से ऑर्गन बनता है, ऑर्गन से ऑर्गन सिस्टम बनता है, ऑर्गन सिस्टम से ऑर्गेनिज्म बनता है. ठीक है? और ऑर्गेनिज्म तो हम लोग हैं, यानी हमारे बॉडी में बहुत सारा ऑर्गन्स है. एंड डिफरेंट ऑर्गन्स हैव डिफरेंट फंक्शन. लाइक आवर आइज, इट हेल्प अस टू सी. आवर लंग्स, it helps to respire, it helps to take in oxygen, to release carbon dioxide. Okay, liver is there, it helps to digest food, it secrete bile juice which digests fat. Okay, then our stomach, it contain stomach, in stomach hydrochloric acid and different substances, they combine together and they help in digestion of food. Fine. Then we are having large intestine where feces are stored, and then finally it has been excreted. So different organs are there. Pancreas is there, you have studied before also, right? Our heart, it helps in the transportation of oxygen from one place to another. Okay, so it have, that means different organs have different function. In this chapter you shall learn about the basic structure unit of an organ. So every organ, I told you that cells, so many cells are combined to form tissue. So many tissues are combined together to form organ. So many organs are combined together to form organ system. And so many organ system combined together to form organism. Okay? So here organ, how organ is formed? So many tissues are combined together to form organ. Okay? Okay, and how tissues are formed? So many cells are combined together to form tissue. Is it clear? In this chapter, we shall learn about the basic structural unit of an organism, which is the cell. Everything in our body is made up of cell. That means our cell, it performs our day-to-day life activity. Day-to-day life activity means everything, like our growth. If something is torn out in our body, maybe cut or something, it is been repaired by cell. So everything, excretion, digestion, everything is been done by cell. Without cell, we are nothing. Okay? So millions of cells combine together to form an organism like we. And in our body, many tissues are there, different tissues are different function. Fine? So together they do control and coordination. Control and coordination, that means there must be a control, and coordinate means they should work together. Fine? Without each other help, it will be difficult to survive. That means we won't be able to survive. How? Like suppose lungs will say that today I will not breathe or I will not respire. Will it be okay? No. So respiration is going on in our body. We are taking oxygen, releasing carbon dioxide. Lungs is working. Our heart is working. It's pumping. Boop, boop, boop. So respiration, then this heart is working of heart, respiration, digestion, assimilation, everything has been going one by one. We are observing, we are hearing, we are responding, everything has been done at the same time. So this has been done due to control and coordination. Is it clear? Cell may be compared to brick. Bricks are assembled to make a building. Similarly, cells are assembled to make the body of every organism. Like every building has been made by using bricks. So we can consider that this building is an organism, and this organism is been formed by combining the cells. So cell provide the structure, like building, the structure of the building is been provided by bricks. Same way the structure of an organism is provided by the cell. Now in the cell there are different parts like mitochondria, lysosomes, cytoplasm, nucleus. So many things will be there that you will be studying in class 9. I'll give you basic hints regarding the cells and their organelles, but not completely. Okay, that you will be studying in class 9. Discovery of the cell. Already I told you that who discovered cell? Who discovered cell? Robert Hooke in 1665. 1665. Okay. Robert Hooke discovered dead cell. Okay, Robert Hooke discovered dead cell. But living cell was discovered by Antonio van Leeuwenhoek. Okay. So if someone asks you who discovered cell, then you will say Robert Hooke. But if someone asks you who discovered living cell, in that case you will be saying Antonio van Leeuwenhoek. So Robert Hooke in 1665 observed slice of cork under a simple magnifying glass. I told you what is a cork. The bark of the tree. Inside that there is a cell. That cell is called the cork. Okay. Cork is the part of the bark of a tree. He took thin slice of cork and observed them under a microscope. He noticed partition boxes or compartment in the cork slice. You can see diagram has been given just below that. So if you have seen beehives, मधुमक्खी का छत्ता अगर देखा है, so it looks like this. Okay, so this compartment he termed as cell. So once the name has been given, we are following the same thing. Cell, 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 cell. Okay, in that time if we could have said that this is a compartment, we could have said compartment. Okay, once the name has been given, it has been continue. Okay, like your name, like suppose my name has been given Rajesh. So until I am dead, after dead also, after my dead also, people will call me, oh Rajesh sir. They will not say something else. Okay. So these boxes appeared like a honeycomb. He also noticed that one box was separated from other by a wall or partition. Hooke coined the term cell for each box. What Hooke observed as boxes or cell in the cork were actually dead cell. So I told you already that these are dead cells. So Robert Hooke discovered dead cell, but living cell was discovered by Antonio van Leeuwenhoek. Actually cells are combined with one another. Cells are combined this way. This is one cell. Just an example. Second, third, fourth, fifth, this way. Every cell consists of three things. Every cell consists of three things. So every cell consists of three things. First, cell membrane. Cell membrane, or it is also known as plasma. Both are same. If you want to say cell membrane, it's correct. If you want to say plasma membrane, it is also correct. So cell membrane or plasma membrane. Second is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm. And third is called the nucleus. So every cell consists of these three things except red blood cell. Red blood cell do not contain nucleus. So this is a cell, this all are cells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are millions of cells in our body. So this is the nucleus. In the center there is a dense mass that is called the nucleus. So this is the nucleus. This portion, the outer covering of the cell, is known as cell membrane or plasma membrane. Cell membrane or plasma membrane. Cell membrane or plasma membrane. Inside this cell membrane, there are some jelly-like substances that is known as cytoplasm. Cytoplasm. And in the center, there is a dense substance that is called the nucleus. 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 So every cell they contain this. Here also it contains nucleus. Here also nucleus, 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 cytoplasm, cytoplasm, everywhere cytoplasm, this one. Okay? Like you have heard about egg cell. So egg is also a cell. So in an egg, the outer covering, that means the albumin. It's called albumin. No, it is called the shell. Outer covering is the shell. That is the cell membrane. Inside the cell, there is a cytoplasm that is called the albumin. And inside the cytoplasm, there is a yellow substance which is known as the yolk. Okay? And which is termed as nucleus. Is it clear? So every cell consists of three things: cytoplasm, nucleus and cell membrane. The outer covering is called the cell membrane. The jelly-like substance which is present inside the cell membrane is called the cytoplasm, and in the center there is a dense place which is called the nucleus. So cells of living organism could be observed only after the discovery of improved microscope. So during those period in 1665, Robert Hooke was able to discover three things only. That means he was able to discover cell. But inside the cell, what are the things present, we don't know. Every day, science is meant for change. Remember that. Science is meant for change. Science में changes होते रहता है. आज कुछ है, कल कुछ होगा. आज जो हम पढ़ रहे हो सकता है कि वो गलत हो जाए, कुछ नया changes आ जाएगा, अगली बार change हो जाएगा. So science is meant for change. So during those period, he said that this is called the new cell, and inside the cell, three things were present: cytoplasm, nucleus, and cell membrane. But nowadays, due to the discovery of modern microscope, many more things are present inside the nucleus we have discovered. Like I told you a few minutes before, ribosomes, lysosomes, mitochondria, and many more are there which are discovered. Okay, so we'll be studying these things afterward. Very little was known about the cell for the next 150 years. That means in 1665 he discovered cell, but there was no proper idea related to cell because of low technology, or you can say that technology was not so good. So once the technology has increased, day by day technology is increasing. So once the technology is increased, then scientists, they were able to understand it properly. Okay? Today we know a lot about cell structure and its function because of improved microscope having high magnification. So nowadays microscopes have high magnification. Nowadays electronic microscope and different microscopes has been invented, due to which we can see very small object. Fine? And not only small object, inside that what are the things present, that also we can observe. Still there is a research going on, that means experiment is going on about the cell and everything, because we have not studied 100% about the cell, because inside the nucleus again we have got nucleoplasm, then chromosomes. न्यूक्लियस के अंदर सब्सटेंस रहता है, पानी जैसा सब्सटेंस जिसको हम लोग न्यूक्लियोप्लाज्म बोलते हैं, उसके अंदर में थ्रेड लाइक सब्सटेंसेस तैरते रहते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड क्रोमोसोम. क्रोमोसोम्स के अंदर डीएनए, डीएनए के अंदर जीन्स, इस तरीका से डिस्कवर हो गया. इन फ्यूचर मे बी विल बी गेटिंग समथिंग न्यू. ओके, मे बी इन फ्यूचर वी मे discover something like that we can increase our life expectancy, our lifespan. Like generally nowadays human, they live for 50 to 60 years, but maybe due to the technology change in the technology. Scientists, they will discover something like that, that our life age will increase. Maybe people can live for 200 years. It can be like that, okay, or more than that. So everything is possible. So next is the cell. Already we have studied what is a cell. Let's see. Both bricks in a building and cell in the living organism are basic structure unit. That means they provide the structure. I told you that cell means what? The structural and functional unit of life. जिंदा चीज में cell होता है, ठीक है? So every living object have cells, and this do everything what we are doing in our day-to-day life. Everything has been done by this cell. Okay? So if the cells are dead, means we are dead. Fine? So the building, though built of similar bricks, have different design. Like we are having the same type of cells. We are having columnar cells, cuboidal cells. Okay? Different types of cells are there. Ciliated cells. Still our structure is different. Our shape is different. Our design is different. Like if you observe ourselves, we will see that my face and my parents' face are different. My face and your face are different. Correct? Something or something is different. That is called actually the error. Due to this error only we are able to survive in this environment. You know that as we are moving in front, we are getting better and better day by day. Like our ancestor, like if we talk to our ancestor, that means early men. So early men were advanced or we are advanced? We are advanced. But nowadays you have seen that small kids, they operate mobile so easily. They operate calculator, they operate laptop easily. But we don't have that much idea. They are very advanced. Due to the technology, they are very advanced. So they are learning so many new things and they are getting advanced. So once they are advanced, definitely their children, they will teach them more. They will gain from somewhere else. Still, parents will teach them something extra and they will get some extra knowledge from other. So they are getting advanced day by day. Are you getting my point? Is it clear? Like when I was kid, we don't know how to play game. But nowadays, if you give mobile to a 7 years old boy or 6 years old child, they will play game very nicely, properly. But we can't. Because technology has increased and their capacity also increases. Okay? And this changes make the people survive, even everything, animals and everything. There is a change. Due to this change only, we are able to survive in this environment. Okay? If it is copy paste, like what your parents are, like your father, whatever your father characters he is having, same character is been carried to the child, then what is the difference? If there is any changes in the environment, your father will die, you will die. Are you getting my point or not? So this changes help the organism to survive in that environment. Those who are best, they can survive. Those who are not best, they will die. Okay? That has been said by a famous scientist, Charles Robert Darwin. Survival of the fittest. The one who is fit will survive and the one who is weak will die. Is it clear? It does not mean that you will take a knife, you are strong, so you will take a knife, you will put it inside your body, you will not die. It's not like that, okay? Nature will decide that you are fit or not. Is it clear? Similarly, the buildings, though built of similar bricks, have different designs, shapes and size. Similarly, in the living world, organisms differ from one another, but all are made up of cell. We all are made up of cell, but our design, structure, shape, everything is different. Okay? By mistakenly someone's face may match, but not 100%. Okay? Sometimes it can be, but up to 98-99%, but not 100%, because everything will not match. Because my DNA is different, his or her DNA will be different. Okay? So cell in the living organism are complex living structure unlike the non-living bricks. So cells are complex structure. Complex structure, that means it contain various nutrients like elements. It contain elements like in our body we have carbon dioxide, that means carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, okay, then potassium, sodium. So many different things are present in our body. So together, so many things are together. If you combine together, then it becomes complex or not? Yes or no? If a single thing has been taken, that is called a simple thing. But so many things, if you take together, it becomes complex. Understood? So we are complex. That means the cells, what we are having, that is complex. That's why we have not studied yet completely. If it is a simple thing, then it is easy to understand, right? Understood or not? So the egg of a hen represents a single cell and is big enough to be seen by the unaided eyes. So this egg is also a cell, single cell, but they are big enough that we can see with our naked eyes. खुला आँखों से देख सकते हैं हम लोग. Okay? So the outer part, that means the white part, is called the cell membrane, that I have told you before also. Cell membrane. Then inside it there is a jelly-like substances. Okay, jelly-like substance, you know, right? Jelly, this is if you break an egg, you will see some white transparent substance, right? That is called the albumin. So that is called the cytoplasm, jelly-like substances. Okay, and inside that there is a yellow substance, that is called the yolk. Okay, or nucleus. Clear? So that is visible to our eyes. I told you in chapter 2 also, biggest or largest cell is the ostrich egg. Okay, ostrich egg. And the smallest is the bacterium cell. You have studied in chapter 2, right? Okay, organisms show variety in cell number, shape and size. That means different organisms have different number of cells. Like a newborn baby, and if I compare with me, do we have equal number of cells? No. One will have less, another one will be more. If I compare with rat and me, or ant and me, are we having same number of cells? No. Do we have same size? Do we have same shape? No. So it varies from organism to organism. Fine. So how do scientists observe and study the living cells? They use microscopes which magnify objects. Stain means color, dye, okay, which is used to see the object in a microscope. Like suppose when we take something in a slide, that means to observe it in the microscope, we used to stain it, color देते हैं. That color is known as saffronin. ठीक है, उस कलर को हम लोग बोलते हैं सैफ्रनिन. सैफ्रनिन ऐड करते हैं, ऐड करने के बाद उसको माइक्रोस्कोप में देखने से ना वो लेबल हो जाता है. ओके, अदरवाइज इट विल बी ट्रांसपेरेंट, वी वोंट बी एबल टू सी. ठीक है, कलर कर देने से मतलब उसमें डाई डाल देने से, सैफ्रनिन डाल देने से वो विजिबल होता है, तो हम लोग आसानी से देख सकेंगे. क्लियर? सो स्टेन आर यूज्ड टू कलर पार्ट ऑफ द सेल टू स्टडी द डिटेल स्ट्रक्चर. उसमें कलर डाल देने से आसानी से दिखता है. ज़्यादा कलर भी नहीं डालना है, थोड़ा सा डालना है, उसको साफ कर लेना है. ठीक है, ज़्यादा डालोगे तो सिर्फ कलर ही दिखेगा. ओके, एंड सेकेंड थिंग, वी एड ग्लिसरीन. यू नो ग्लिसरीन, राइट? सो वी एड ग्लिसरीन ऑल्सो. वाई वी एड ग्लिसरीन? सो दैट द स्लाइड व्हाट वी हैव मेड दैट विल नॉट ड्राई अप, सूख ना जाए बोलकर हम लोग उसमें ग्लिसरीन डालते हैं. ठीक है, और सैफ्रनिन किस लिए डालते हैं? कलर करने के लिए, ताकि सेल का अलग अलग पार्ट हम लोग आसानी से देख सके. इज इट क्लियर? देयर आर मिलियंस ऑफ लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म. दे आर ऑफ डिफरेंट शेप एंड साइज. देयर ऑर्गन्स ऑल्सो वेरी इन शेप, size and number of cells. So as already I told you, the different organisms have different organs. For example, I am having lungs, I am having kidneys. Okay, so tiger, lion, they are also having same thing. Cow also they have same thing. Their kidneys and my kidneys are same or what? No, it will be different. Okay, their lungs and my lungs will be different. Okay, let us study about some of them. So number of cells. So as already I told you that if there are one cell, if an organism is made up of one cell, it means that that organism can perform all the activities so that that organism can be alive. Like ingestion, खाना खा सकता है, digest कर सकता है, nutrition को absorb कर सकता है, distribute कर सकता है, and excrete कर सकता है. That means all this activity will be done by that single organism, single cell. Then it will be termed as a unicellular organism. For example, if I take one cell from my body, so that will be unicellular organism or what? No, it won't be able to perform all the activities, that ingestion, digestion, absorption, it won't be able to do that. So that is not a single cell. A cell which can perform all this activity is known as single cell organism. Is it clear? So unicellular is clear, multicellular is clear. Multi means many, cellular means cell. So those organisms which are made up of many cells are known as multicellular. Example, you know, cow, dog, human, and many more are there. Unicellular means uni means one and cellular means cell. So those organisms which are made up of one cell and which can perform all the activities so that they can be alive are called unicellular organisms. Fine? Like amoeba, paramecium, euglena, other more are there. Fine? Now let's move to page number 92. A single-celled organism perform all the necessary function that multicellular organism perform. Remember that single-cell organism. Did I told you that the first living creature on earth was blue-green algae? Blue-green algae. Okay, that is also known as cyanobacteria. Okay, that was the first organism. So this organism was also a single cell. Okay, this organism perform all the activities so that they can be alive. Fine. Now after combining one single cell, they combine and they become multicellular. They have come out from water and now they are surviving on land. Evolution has come and due to that evolution now we are able to survive on land. Maybe due to evolution in the future we will be having some changes in our body also. Like maybe our head will grow up. Why? Because we are having more knowledge. I am giving an idea only, okay? I am just telling you. It's not necessary that our head will grow. Maybe our hands will grow up. Okay, it will become long. Nature will decide that. According to the nature, due to the need of the nature, it will change. Fine? Or maybe we will be having 4 hands. It is possible, okay? But these changes don't happen in 100 years or 200 years. It takes time. Thousand years it takes. Okay? A single-celled organism like amoeba capture and digest food, respire, excrete, grow and reproduce. Everything has been done by this single cell. ठीक है? खाना खाता है, excrete करता है, बच्चा पैदा करता है. Everything has been done by this amoeba. Okay? Similar function in multicellular organisms are carried out by groups of specialized cells performing different tissues. Tissues in turn form organ. That I told you already. That cells combine together to form tissue. Tissue combine together to form organ. Organ combine together to form organ system. And organ system combine together to form organism. Okay, so shape of cell. Now shape also, we are having different types of cell. You can see here diagram is been given on the right hand side. You can see some are round, some are spindle, some are long, Okay, so this type of shape is been given. So different cells has different. Some are cuboidal, some are columnar, some are ciliated. Okay, some are squamous. Different are there. Fine. Okay. So shape of cell. There is an organism whose name is amoeba. Amoeba do not have regular shape. Like today I am looking this way, tomorrow I'll be looking same, right? But amoeba is an organism which changes its shape. Now it is like this, after some time, maybe 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, its shape will change. After another 1 hour, again it will change. Again it will change. That means shape changes. Okay? Okay? An amoeba move from one place to another using a feet called false feet. And that false feet is also known as pseudopodia. Okay? It don't have definite shape. It changes time to time. So that's why it is also known as false feet. Okay? Which is called pseudopodia. Fine? So you can see here, you can write one question. Write one question. What is the name of false feet? What is the name of false feet? What is the name of false feet of amoeba? What is the name of false feet? F-E-E-T, feet of amoeba. Amoeba. Answer is pseudopodia. You can see in bold letter is been given pseudopodia. Pseudopodia. So you can write that pseudopodia. Pseudopodia. Next question. How amoeba move from one place to another? How amoeba move from one place to another? How they move from one place to another? Okay. How amoeba move from one place to another? From one place to another. So answer is using pseudopodia. Using pseudopodia. Using pseudopodia. Using pseudopodia. Same thing, bold letter, pseudopodia. In this P is silent, okay? Like in knife, K is silent. Same way here, P is silent, pseudopodia. Like in pneumonia, P is silent. Okay? Cirrhosis, P is silent. So here also P is silent, pseudopodia. Using pseudopodia. Next question. How amoeba capture food? How amoeba capture food? Answer will be same, using pseudopodia. So that's all for today's class. Next day we'll continue with this chapter. Thank you.